really good on you.
No, stop it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, could you please introduce yourself to everyone?
Oh no, I just go ahead. You finish. I'm just hopping on. I'm glad I was able to connect on time. I'll just sit here.
No, please introduce yourself. Please. Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm Jessie from Cappuccinos and Consignment. I started my blog about a year ago. It focuses on life, style, travel, and most importantly, finances.
So what made you get started with this blog?
I really needed a creative outlet. It was a very difficult space in my life during that time. Child health issues. It was just a lot. And I needed a creative outlet, but I knew I had to be realistic. I didn't have the energy or resources to start sewing again or painting or do anything that was really, really physically demanding. So my family and friends for years have been telling me I should blog. So I decided to pull out the laptop and just started writing. I didn't think anyone would care. It was just like a diary. So then it evolved.
Very rapidly, because your first post was February 2nd of 2019, and it just kind of like skyrocketed from there.
Insane. I'm still in awe. Like I am still, and so I think it's so funny when I get messages from, Mazamis asking, how should I build my following or do that? I'm like, I don't know. I started. Yeah. I don't know.
Now, would you say that it's because you are so authentic? Because your captions are like, they're like a glimpse into your life, but it's very. I would say that your blog is very immersive. Would you say that's your secret?
I guess so. It's me. It's just, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know what else to be or what else to write about, besides my experiences and my feelings. And that was one of the, I think that's one of the reasons why I had never started blogging so many years ago when people kept telling me to, because I was always under the assumption that I had to zoom in on one particular niche. I had to focus on either travel or parenthood or, it had to be one thing. And I'm not one thing.
Yeah.
So like the thought of trying to be just one thing just made me not want to do it at all. So once I just decided to do my own thing, it happened.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so it's so funny. I took notes to what to ask you, but like I guess I was kind of delirious because the first question that I wrote was, "Why are you so fabulous?"
No one has ever asked me that before.
Oh, okay. So why are you so fabulous?
I don't know. I'm just, being me, and I don't know. I just do it. I always have just worn what I wanted to wear, and I've just always done what I wanted to do. And that wasn't contingent on, where the fashion industry was, which was very difficult and I'd say progressive for me because I was in the fashion industry. So to not be on trend when you're working in fashion is like a bit of a rebel. So I've just always stayed true to just my style, myself, and people think it's fabulous.
So if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
Who knows? I don't know, because I'm doing everything right now. Like I'm all over the place, depending on the hour. I can't even say the day. I don't know. I would probably be doing this, just not in public. This everything that I write about, everything that I show, it's my life. It's just I'm finally at a place where I have just invited other people in. So I try to tell that to Mezamis all the time. It's like, this was my life well before the blog, before Instagram. I'm just opening it up.
So your blog has a very Parisian vibe to it. So what got you inspired to want to be a part of French culture? And what do you admire most about French culture as well?
The language. I love the
Mhm.
language. I am just a language connoisseur. I think it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I remember just being a little girl and hearing the Bible story. I think it was the Tower of Babel. My grandmother told me about how, the people couldn't come together to build this. I don't know because I never read it, but the people were trying to come together to build, I'd say, a structure, but they couldn't because they couldn't understand one another. And to me, right then I'm like, I want to be that person that speaks all the languages that can connect everyone. And since then, I have explored so many languages. I went to school in Italy, Italian. I lived in Turkey, Turkish. I recently started learning German. I'm just all over, kind of all over, but French, out of all the languages, French have it stole my heart at a very, very young age. And it stayed with me and everything about it, just the culture. And when I finally went to Paris and eventually stayed there because I didn't want to come back, it was just, I loved it. And I'm such a romantic. So Paris is just a romantic place, and I get to be romantic, like in peace. Paris, yeah, it's like you can hold hands in Paris, you can kiss in Paris, and there's no one staring, and but it's lovely. It's so cliche, but it is. It's a lovely place. I love it. I love the language, love the food, everything about it.
How long does it typically take you to learn a language?
Um, so there's levels to the languages. For Italian, I had to know enough to finish a degree, like in university. So that was it didn't take as long because I was immersed in the language. And when you just have to survive, you'll be surprised how quick you can learn something. But as with German, that has been, I won't say the most difficult. Turkish was the most difficult language, but I had a working knowledge of it and enough to, I tell people when they ask, how should I learn a language? It depends what you want to know. If you want to be able to order a drink, to say greetings and tell your favorite color, that's one thing. But to be able to discuss politics, close deals, and, have that level of language, it's a lot of work. So French, even though I know the language, I'm at the level where I'm trying to do official work. And that's completely different from the French that you acquire from, school and after school programs and tutoring. So it takes a lot. It's a lot of time if you want to have levels of fluency in a language.
True, true, true. Okay. When did you start locking your hair? Because your hair is so long.
It's so long. It's so long. It's been, I want to say 12 years. It's been about 12 years.
What made you decide to do it?
Yeah, I wanted them since I was a little girl. I had always wanted them. I recently shared this on, I think, one of my stories. When I was a little girl, I remember going to the Black Wax Museum, and my teacher, who was a white woman, made a comment about how when the slaves came over, were forced over on the ships, how when they arrived, their hair was so matted and dreadful and just awful and nappy. And it was just such this dark and scary depiction of my people as a little Black girl, on this field trip. And I remember going home asking my mom, can I have dreadlocks? And she said, oh God, no, you'll never get a job. You'll never be able to, thrive in America if you do that. And so for so long, I couldn't. And finally, when I graduated, I think that was my first degree. When I graduated with no, it was before then. So 13 years. When I graduated from design school, I cut all my hair off and started my locks. Because it's like, who's going to stop me? I'm grown.
Oh my gosh, how was what was that feeling like when you cut all your hair off? Because I want to do that so
It
bad.
was so liberating. It was so liberating. And I tell everyone, especially women, when you are in the process of growing locks, don't cover your hair. I see that far too often. Women, when they're in that transitional period, they wear wigs or, do those different things. And to me, this is my opinion, it takes away from that process, from that connection. I think as women, we're so attached to our hair, and hair is such a signifier of beauty. And having no hair, made me so vulnerable. It made me so vulnerable. It put me in a space where people had to see me. I couldn't hide behind my hair anymore. So it gave me such a level of confidence that I don't think I ever would have acquired if I had hit that process, because it's uncomfortable. It is a very uncomfortable process when you are used to having hair, when you're used to, that being a part of your identity, for it to be taken away and you feel that you're rebuilding yourself. It's amazing. It was really amazing. And I'm so glad I went through every step of the way in public. So do it. Do it.
Okay.
Do
I'm gonna do
it.
it. I am gonna do it. I am gonna do it. Because I've been saying I'm gonna do it for years, and I keep
Mhm.
stopping and stopping because I feel like, yeah, like I feel like my identity is my hair.
Mhm.
And like when you're like when
And
you're first
it is.
dating someone, you're
Yeah.
like you take your weave out and stuff, and then he's like, I don't like
Right.
you like that. So it's like,
And it's like, that's fine. I don't like you like that. Yeah. So it was amazing. Like it was a really humbling experience, and I got to know myself on a much deeper level. And it wasn't some spiritual quest that I went on when I cut my hair off. I just decided I'm going to do it.
hmm. When did you, and forgive me if this question is a bit vague, but when did you start to love/value
Mhm.
yourself?
That's a good question. I feel like it's always been there, the love and the value, but it may have been attached to other people's perceptions or other people's values. And so I didn't have my own self value until I'd say well into my adulthood. It was always there, but to have it on my own terms, I think that was just it's just a different chapter of value when you value yourself and it's not contingent on anyone else.
Yeah, that was really good. Oof. Going to church today on Sunday. I like it.
I tell people that. I tell people all the time when I don't give dating advice. I have failed marriages. Like I'm the worst person to ask about relationship stuff. But the one thing I do tell so many women is you have to love yourself. You have got to be in love with yourself. You have to value yourself before you can expect anyone else to. And that's what I think is so different about this chapter in my life, is that this is my life, and whomever I allow into it, you can enhance my happiness. You can enhance, you can enhance, but you're not making my happiness. You're not creating my happiness. My happiness is not contingent on you. And that's one of the things I know we're not taught as women. We have this very skewed notion of love and of unions. I remember just being a little girl drawing the little half a heart and hoping I could find someone with the other half, and we put our little hearts together and become one. And it's like, no, be a whole heart. Be a whole person before you invite anyone else in. And then your value, your love, your happiness is not attached to anyone.
I love that. That was beautiful. Okay.
Thank you.
So finances.
Finances.
Yes, because you made a post the other day that I was like a huge aha moment for me. You were talking about lending people money.
Oh yeah.
So can you for my followers who
Mhm.
don't follow you yet, can you
Thank
elaborate on
you.
that post?
Oh yeah, so I wrote an entire, it's like a series titled like "Oh wow, this is awkward," and it just addresses different financial issues that we may face. But one of them was I'm lending people money, and not even lending, but it's more so feeling obligated to help people. Again, as women, I feel like our cross to bear is so heavy at times. You know, we feel this obligation to, if we have, to give. And I don't think it's true. And it was hard for me to get there. I know once I got to a certain, income bracket and people were aware of it, it became a, oh, well, you have it. We could just ask Jessie. She's, in Paris. She's wearing this. She's wearing that. If anyone could loan us money, it's her. And I felt a sense of obligation. And we are never obligated to, share our or give our resources. We're not. If you decide to help someone, yes, but make sure you're helping them. And that was one of the things I discussed in my live, is that it's a difference between helping and hindering. There are some people who, yes, you are helping, like they actually need help, but then there are people that you are hindering, because if someone is continuing to make reckless financial decisions and depend on you to bail them out to make things better, you're hindering them. You're not helping them. So that's my take on, giving money and, just feeling that sense of, obligation. Do not be. And another thing that I do, I don't borrow what I can't, I don't lend what I can't afford to get back. That's always been my thing. If I lend someone money, yes, I hope to get it back. But in the event that I don't want my world to fall apart because
Mm-hmm.
helped you or hindered you. So I always tell people that when you lend people money, make sure you can go without it, because it is a very big possibility but that you may not get that money back. Or if you do, it may be an increment. It may not be how you gave it to them. So make sure you are not going without before you give to someone else. Again, cup has to be full. Your cup has to be full before you can pour into someone else. Your heart has to be full before you can love someone else. Like, be full always.
This is some really, really good advice. Okay. So the post that made me follow you,
Mm-hmm.
the title of it was, the first sentence was, "This is my space."
Oh,
So so you obviously wear many different hats.
yeah.
So how do you separate that, being a mother, being a wife, being an entrepreneur, being a blogger, being an influencer? How do you try to separate slash combine all of that?
Yeah, it's never easy, I shall say. And sometimes those worlds do collide, but I am a firm believer in people, especially women, having a space that is for their own. It's
Mm.
all so common, you even look throughout just day to day. It may not be something that you're even conscious of. When you refer to someone, it's such and such wife, such and such daughter, such and such, mother. It's like, but I have a name. Like, what about me? I feel like we are so many things to so many other people that we forget about ourselves. And so I go to great lengths to I won't say keep my worlds apart, because it's almost impossible, but to create spaces where I'm allowed to be this for this amount of time. I'm allowed to do this for that amount of time, and to keep certain things separate. And it's nothing wrong with that. I actually posted today the blog MySpace, why mothers need their own space, and not feeling guilty about it. So much of being a mother, of being a woman, is guilt. People will guilt you for everything.
Mm.
For
That's no, it's
everything.
true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's always the mother's fault.
Yeah. Oh, always. Anytime something goes wrong, it's because the mother didn't do this or that. So I, as best as I can, I try to rid myself of the guilt because I have to take care of myself. Again, if my cup is not full, I can't pour into anyone else at all. So keep your cups full. However,
Yeah, right.
however,
And I love what you wrote. You said being a mother is a comma.
mhm.
I
Oh
love
yeah,
that.
it wasn't a secret. Like there was a point when even the husband had gotten a bit upset because people didn't know I was married. And it wasn't a secret. It was
Mhm.
just, I don't lead with, hi, I'm Jessie, I'm married, I have a child. I don't feel the need to lead with those things. So it was never a secret. It just never came up
Yeah.
because we were talking about so many other things. And again, I just feel that as women, we let so many other people place value and identify, who we are. I even said that on my blog post today. There are times when I have been in supermarkets and, high-end boutiques, and I would meet a woman and I would know everything about her children, their age, their, interests, their food allergies, what hospital they were born in, their weight. I would know everything about them, and then we'll part ways. And I'm like, what was her name? She never told me her name,
Yes.
but it's like she gave me everything else about everyone else. And sometimes I think we don't even realize that it's happening, that we have lost ourselves. So if I can create awareness to that, by all means, I try to help people, mothers, women, just alleviate that guilt. You have to alleviate it because we were so many things before we became a mother. And I let that be known when I got married this time around. This is who I am. This is who I will continue to be. If you want to be a part of this, welcome. If not, we need to, think of a different plan or perhaps go another route, because I am going to be who I am. This is the life that I have created. This is the life that I want to live. And I would like you to be a part of it. But if you don't want to accept all the other commas, I have to respect that. So create your boundaries at the beginning. And if not, it's never too late to create them after.
So, how many closets do you have in your house?
So this is the main one. Yeah. So this is the main one. It's a room that I've converted into the dressing room. Then there's a closet in here that's like filled to capacity.
Oh my
The loft is where I keep like most of my vintage pieces. I'm slowly stealing space into the husband's
Oh my
closet. I
gosh.
know it's awful. Even the man cave, like he found some stuff that I stashed down there. And to be
So how do
childish,
you
he put one of his like tank tops in my dressing room, and I almost lost it. What are you doing in here?
how do you pick what to wear every day? Do you have a calendar of like what you're gonna wear every day?
No, I used to wardrobe plan for the week. When I was commuting to the office, I would every Sunday iron all my clothes for the entire week because I woke up every morning at about 3 or 3:30 a.m.
AM.
Yeah, because I wanted time to blog, to record, that was my time that I
Mhm.
didn't share with the family. So I was creating my space. And so I had to determine a time. When could I have uninterrupted time that doesn't take away from anyone else? So it was a sacrifice, but I wanted it. I needed it. I needed my time. So I created that space. And trying to find something to wear at 3 and 3 a.m. is not fun. So I would plan for the week. And of course, now with being 6 months pregnant, my wardrobe is very limited. So I don't have as much to choose from.
Yes. Which congratulations, by the way, 6 months late, but
Better late than never. Thank you.
how is that with the the quarantining, the coronavirus going on right now? Because are you guys still in lockdown in
Yeah.
DC?
Well, no. We're open, like I believe we're in phase 2 or so,
I
whatever
don't know
that
any of the
means.
phases.
Um,
Right? I'm like, they're like, we're in phase 2, and I'm like, what's
yeah.
up? How is it up there though? Like, are people like manic and stuff?
No, people are living their lives and people are at pool parties and barbecues, and I'm questioning if the pandemic is still here because everyone's living
Honestly.
as though we're safe. So, and even myself, I have, gotten a bit laxed about things, and it's like we have to keep our guards up. Like, it is a very, very real thing, and we have to remember that it may not be headline news like it was at one point, but just because things are open, just because you're invited spaces, doesn't mean you have to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I really had to, remind myself, because of course, once one shop opened, it's like, oh my God, we've been locked down for so long, I have to get out of the house. But yeah, it's safety first.
Of course, of course. So you said in your blog that you don't like when people come up to you and ask you for pictures.
Oh no, I am afraid to take pictures.
Wait, why?
I I don't know. I get so I get so scared. Like, there are so many, like, just trips that we have taken, so much that has gone undocumented because I didn't like taking pictures, for one. And I did a lot of travel by myself. For the most part, all of my travels, I was alone. And I was too afraid to ask someone to, like, take pictures of me. So I never did. And once I started blogging, it's like, okay, I have got to get over this fear. Like, if I am going to do this, I need to ask for help, and I can't be afraid of if someone's stopping to look, or just those things, because it's still so uncomfortable when I'm out and I'm taking photos, or photos being taken of me, or if I'm taking a picture of my bracelets with my coffee while I'm out. I'm so self-conscious about, oh my God, everyone's going to think I'm so vain. Like, what are they? But I have to let it go. I have to let it go. But it is still so hard to, like, take pictures in public.
For someone who wants to travel, mainly asking for selfish reasons, but so if someone who wants to get into traveling, what would you say is the first step?
It's to go. Like, so many people won't go. And so many people, I've noticed, wait. They wait
Yeah.
for, someone else. They wait for, well, I don't want to go to I've met people who, well, I don't want to go to Paris until I have, a boyfriend or fiance, or I don't want to do this because I want to experience it with go. You can experience it again. Like, so just go. That's the biggest thing. And don't be afraid to go alone. Again, I'd say 98% of my travel has been alone. I'm not waiting for anyone. I'm not. If I see a place I want to go, if I see a deal, if I just feel like it, if I have a babysitter, I go. I don't wait for anyone. I have no issues hopping on a plane, and I will leave you if we made plans. If we made plans and things just started to kind of wither away, I'm not canceling my trip. I will send you a postcard.
I'll send you a postcard.
Yeah, so just go. Like, don't wait, even if it's by yourself. And that too, speaking of building, like, value and confidence earlier, being alone for so much of my adult life and in places that I wasn't native to, being places where I didn't speak the language, being places where I was sometimes the only Black person, it takes a lot. Like, that takes a lot of, just being assured with yourself, just being confident in taking up space and being confident with just feeling like the outsider.
Yeah.
It takes a lot, but just do it. Go. Once the world is safe again, go. Do not wait for anyone. I am already planning my trip post baby.
Where are you going?
Back to Paris. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
She's not going. The husband isn't going. Juju, the camera kid, isn't going.
Oh yeah, so I love that.
Yeah.
I love that hashtag. That makes me so happy seeing that. So, is there anything we can learn from the way that you've navigated the globe, from how the difference in their politics and in their culture versus America?
Yeah, I would say just do a bit of research and respect that you are in someone else's space. Respect that, sorry, phone call came in. Respect that you are in someone else's space. A lot of people that I have spoken with about travel to certain places, may mention how they had such an awful time, how the people were rude, how this was awful. And it's like, well, yeah, you went to another place expecting them to behave like you were home. That takes away from traveling. Like, what's the point of traveling if you really don't want to have a new experience? So I'm not saying that you have to read, books and books and books about, a city, country, or culture, but have a working knowledge. Small things you can do. The metro, learning at metro etiquette. Do we stand on the left side or do we walk on the left side? Do people drink while they're, on the metro, or do so there's so many small nuances that we could learn that will make things more pleasant. And that's a lot of times when I hear people say that they had awful experiences, it's in Paris. They always say that, like, we hated Paris, the people were so rude and this. There's rude people everywhere. I run into a lot of rude people in DC. A lot of rude people. But it's when you go to other places, be open and understand that you are not at home. So the accommodations, the luxuries, or whatever it is, you left for a reason because you wanted to explore. So explore without strings attached. But we would never do that, in my home country or my hometown. You're not in Kansas anymore. So just enjoy, immerse yourself in the language. I mean, in the country, wherever you're traveling to, learn how to say hello. I can say hello. I want to say maybe 20 different languages. I may not know how to say anything else, but something as simple as saying hello. It shows a level of respect. And with that, people will be more open to help you. They will be more open to, just be warm. But I've seen it all too often. Even, living in South Africa, I would see Americans, they come and hello, you just automatically speak. You automatically think that someone is supposed to speak English. Why? If you're in South Africa, why? If you're in Denmark, why do you expect these things? So take a bit of time to at least learn a simple greeting. Before I travel, I just love reading in history. So I always read like some kind of historical book about where I'm going. And I mean, you don't even have to do that. Just be open to new experiences.
Awesome. Okay, so where can people follow you, stalk you, all that fun stuff?
I don't know why things sound so low.
Oh, can you hear me?
It may be my phone. I can hear you, but it's just really low. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, where can people follow you, stalk you, all that fun stuff?
Oh yeah, Cappuccinos and Consignment on Instagram, and the blog is cappuccinosandconsignment.com.
But you have a YouTube channel, don't you?
I'm sorry?
You have a YouTube channel, don't you?
Yeah, but as it stands, my YouTube was more of a axillary to the blog. So when videos were too big for me to upload to the blog, I will put them on YouTube to embed into my blog. So I am slowly working on starting like an official YouTube. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Oh my goodness. I have a new respect for like vloggers. Like that is a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
It's a full-time job, hence why people get paid doing it.
Yeah. And for so long I thought it was so ridiculous. Oh my goodness, this is their career. They have assistants. That's so silly. No, I need an assistant.
Right?
Those people. Like it's a lot.
So are you on your website also, it says that you did meetups. Are you still doing them with the pandemic going on, or you're not doing them right now?
No, so I paused them for now for safety reasons because all of the meetups were chauffeured. So, you know, we were in small spaces and there was a lot of champagne. So just a recipe, like a little petri dish. Like, it was just a bad idea. So until the world gets, you know, safe again. But I have been asked would I be interested in doing like a more open meetup, you know, where we're not chauffeured, we just set a location and we could still be socially distant. So I'm not opposed to that, but the experiences that I offered, that's on hold now for safety reasons.
Okay, I asked that because I'm going to DC this week. I know.
Let's meet up.
Oh my God, I'd love to.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me know when you'll be there. I'll treat you to a cappuccino.
Okay, that makes me so happy. I'm so glad that I the whole time I was like thinking, should I say it? Should I say it? I was like, yes! I'm just gonna say it. Okay, I'll definitely message you. Okay, cool.
Yes, I would be delighted.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I know that you're an extremely busy woman. So, one last thing, could you give some words of advice, some wisdom to someone who's watching this sometime in the future, probably in 2050?
Oh my God.
I know.
Just be yourself. Be yourself. That is that's really the only advice I could give is to stay true to you. You know, there's so much, but things are so fleeting. People, fashion, everything. But if you're true to yourself and you're anchored, like you will always be fine in whatever situation, whatever country you find yourself in. So just be authentically you and unapologetically, like be yourself.
Thank you.
Find yourself first. If you haven't found it, find yourself. And once you find yourself, be yourself.
Once you find yourself, be yourself. I like that.
I don't know who we are because we're so attached to so many other people and things. So find yourself and then keep doing that.
I love it. Oh my God. Thank you so much for this, Jessie.
Thank you.
All right. You enjoy the rest of your day, girl.
All righty. Ciao for now.
Ciao.